Yeah, long time no speak.
Yeah,
Thanks
man.
for being able to reschedule this. I know it was quite some time.
All good, man. So you sent me two replays. Every time I go into coaching sessions, I just want to get an idea from you. What would you call like a successful session today? Like, what would you walk away with, or like, what are you looking to learn today?
Mhm.
What's going on?
Yeah, so I really want to understand like the decisions I'm making that are probably leading to bad outcomes. So this SF replay is not one of my best games for sure, but I feel like we had a chance, and for some reason I'm not able to win much with these types of heroes. I'm more like the melee hero
Hmm.
player, and yeah, just I guess I'd need your help for this.
Yeah, very different play style.
Yeah,
Um.
it's completely new, and yeah, it's also like came back to Dota not too long ago. You know, we had two sessions before. First one, I guess you solved 90% of my games just on efficiency. Remember I told you at TI I got to 4K,
Yeah.
and then after that I got married. I got a lot of stuff. Stopped playing for 1 year. I come back. The whole map is different. The heroes
Hmm.
now I was used to play just suck now, and then it was I had to relearn everything,
I feel
and
that.
yeah,
Yeah, man. How long have you been playing back for?
like 1 or 2 months, but yeah, it was a bit tough getting back, and now I feel like I'm improving again, but yeah, still making a lot of mistakes
Okay. Do you
most
feel like
likely.
you need a bit of like would you like if I see things that are gonna help you with like the new map or like things you might be doing that are like fundamentally off? Would those type of
Yeah,
small tips help too?
yeah, because for sure I'm not being efficient. I remember in the previous map after our first session, which the core concept was I don't have sense of urgency to farm. Like I used to win most games just based on I have a lot more net worth than everybody else, so then I'm just gonna kill everybody else. And in this map, I still struggle a bit doing that really.
Yeah, I got you. Definitely. I mean, when the new map came out, the fortunate thing for everybody was everybody else was figuring out the map. So when you come back to it after, everyone else has already familiarized themselves with it, it's definitely a bit awkward.
Yeah.
Um. So yeah, man. Anything else you'd like to say before we just kind of jump into it and see what's going on?
Mm, no, no, just I guess focus on efficiency stuff and I know I fucked up some fights, but I think main issues is just macro and should I go with the team? Should I just keep farming here? Should I go this route or that route?
Sure, man.
I think that's what I'm fucking up.
Yeah. I have no doubt we'll be able to find some stuff and figure it out. You can see the screen fine?
Yeah, all good, all good.
Cool. Okay.
Yeah, maybe I'm using raises too much, but uh, I need to practice CS with SF in general and first levels it's a bit difficult with low souls for me.
So I'm gonna give you a quick tip. So one problem that people often, this is me assuming a little bit. So afterwards, please tell me if this isn't helping. Okay. So defensive aggro with ranged heroes is way different than it is with melee heroes. Do you use defensive aggro a lot in general?
Yeah, yeah, but I do it the same way.
Yeah.
Both range and melee.
Yeah. So the problem with ranged heroes is that if we like drag it to our range creep and stuff, then we end up tanking creeps and we take like twice as much damage as a melee hero. So it creates a lot of like weird dynamics where we don't want that. And so the way that we prevent that is that the way we learn to aggro on ranged heroes, and this is something I would want you to practice in a demo lobby. Let me just... Is that we want to aggro creeps, like, right as they're dying, so that as they're dying, they're at the 2.3 second tip of their aggro, so they're closer to us, but we're not tanking them. Do you see what I mean by that? So I'll show...
Just for the last hits?
Yeah, so like this.
Okay.
And then, like, you know, lanes, lane, 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 and then...
Then he's low, pull again. Okay.
Yeah. So this is how ranged heroes use creep aggro, and it's like... We hardly
so
ever... What?
So you will never pull it to range creep just for the sake of...
If
I
the
don't wanna get a
lane
rush.
is really far up, and we need to get the lane back, and you're basically giving up the range creep, like the enemy range creep, or like maybe you're sniping it with a raise. Basically, if you're going to defensive aggro the creeps so far back that the opponent's not even contesting them anymore, so you can just retreat, then yes, it's fine. But as a melee hero, you're also fine to just do that at the start of the wave. But very rarely on ranged heroes do we want to aggro at the very start of the wave, unless the lane is like really pushed.
Okay.
So I want to show you what I'm saying, because you said maybe I'm overusing raises. That was your comment. And I want to show you that on these creeps here, I need you to aggro them right now.
Okay. Yeah.
So that's going to force this Mars forward right now, which is going to give you a potential attack on him, which is then going to allow you to potentially raise him and the creep at the same time. But what we don't want is Sniper being in range of deny here, Mars being able to stand like right here to deny the creep, and then you having to raise the creep like this.
Yeah. Yeah.
Right? So that's why I saw what you were doing, and I'm like, okay, it's something that I've had to teach people a bit recently, because I only really started understanding this really clearly, because you're like me. I mean, my main hero pool was like Jug, Lifestealer, Ursa, Slark, you know, shit like this.
Yeah.
So I'm very much aware of the, like, I used to suck at ranged heroes, and I honestly didn't know why. And, like, the only ranged hero I was good at was Drow, because she doesn't pull creeps.
Yeah.
Like,
For
honestly.
me, it's Lena.
Yeah, okay, same idea. You just hit the enemy a bunch.
But I noticed this thing was happening to me, and I couldn't contest the creeps with them. So eventually, you'll see I just start attacking Mars to see if he eventually gives up the creeps.
Yeah.
But yeah, this is much better.
So that's one thing to practically help you on your ranged heroes. So, like, in this moment, yeah, I would want you, like, when the lane's this far up and you can pull to your range right here, that's when I would do it. If it's not within tower, like, it's not so far up, so your options are to either aggro as they're getting low, or you can just aggro right away. The aggroing right away is only good if the small camp's here.
Okay.
If you aggro right away and the small camp's available, what I would actually have you do is I aggro right away, hit the creeps low as fast as possible with your goal to be at the pull camp at 215, pulling it.
Okay.
Everything I'm telling you to do right now is freeing up the CS and minimizing interaction with the opponent. And I'm only telling you this because your Lion kind of like didn't lane with you for the first 3 waves. So
yeah,
this is kind of a feeling of I want to play to farm. I want to like I'm just chilling here. It doesn't feel like we can really be aggressive. I used like 4 raises in the first creep wave or 2 creep waves. And so I'm just saying to you that none of this applies if you feel really strong and you can just like walk up and hit them and stuff.
Yeah,
you know?
Yeah.
But yeah, any questions about that?
No, all good. All good.
Yeah, so I just, yeah, this whole like sitting melee range and contesting, like that's what we're trying to kind of avoid here.
Yeah. Here I fucked it up. I had the fairy fire, but I didn't use it. I think I would have killed him.
Yeah, it's interesting, because for me, SF and ranged heroes, they're not really about killing people. They're all about efficient trades. So, like, in this moment, I would be hitting them, they go on my Lion. I'd be hitting Mars right now. Like, I would just be standing here hitting Mars. I'm not, like, trying to walk past anybody to kill this guy. I'm just hitting Mars. So like this whole time I'm just hitting Mars, hitting Mars, hitting Mars, and then the second my guys backed off to safety, like I'm still over here, and I just back off.
Yeah, yeah.
So melee heroes are more all in generally when it comes to trades, and ranged heroes are much less committal with the way we handle these type of situations. So I think the way you played this is kind of like a melee hero as well.
Yeah, yeah, exactly. I do full commit and then I don't realize until it's too late. Yeah, it's too much commit. I cannot
Yeah, I want you to think that the cool thing about ranged heroes is you are a threat from 600 range. So,
yeah,
and that threat is usually not the kill threat. It's just, I can hit you for 65 damage and potentially use a raise or two on you. And if you overcommit, then I kill you. And usually with ranged heroes, it's like the third bad trade is a kill. And for them, like meaning like they take bad trades 3 times and then you kill them. Or they overextend into you and then you kill them. It's hardly ever you going on them unless you're like super far ahead in lane. You know what I mean? Like if you're like level 5 and he's level 3, sure, you can like posture like a raid boss. That's fine. Yeah, I mean they're really low right now, so it makes sense you're being really aggressive. Yeah, this is a good attempt. Good attempt. I definitely don't think you're defensive aggroing nearly enough. I think if you position the creeps more towards you, you would just have an easier time. When the lane's further up, like you can just feel free to aggro it to your range. I think that will solve like honestly half of your issues in lane, like just getting hang of doing
just
that more
aggro.
often. Yeah.
More aggro and doing it like you said for range. Yeah.
Yeah, this is good, though. I mean, you clearly want to be aggressive, and I think that's actually good. We just need to teach you the little nuances of being aggressive on range instead of melee. But your instinct to be aggressive here is good. SF's definitely like a strong, aggressive laner. Okay. Let me just rewind and get some context here. Okay. So, just nuances of, like, the new map, but also just, like, the way the neutral items work nowadays. Your goal at 5 minutes, like, right when we start at 5 minutes, is how do I, if possible, push the wave and pull at 5:15, do the same thing at 6:15, do the same thing at 7:15, and I just clear a small camp every fucking minute. How do I do that? Like, that's my game plan. I just need to figure out how to make it happen. Like, it's going to vary from matchup to matchup. There's no magic formula, but that's what you're trying to do. Okay. So it's really important because the Madstones, like neutral items are just really good. They're like 10 attack speed, 10 damage, or like mana regen and attack speed or whatever. Like it's a lot of stuff, you know? So, I'm trying to show that like by getting neutral items as fast as possible, it's like 1,000 net worth item, is what these neutral items are usually worth. So when we turn on 5 minutes, I see this, and now I'm like, okay, how do I pull at 5:15?
Okay.
And that's my thought right here. So what that will generally mean is I'll just start right-clicking the range creep. Maybe click this creep instead so he can't deny it. But my goal is how do I get out of here 6 seconds from now? And then I kill these creeps right now. I walk over here, I pull it, I get a neutral item. The lane comes back underneath tower. And then after I push it out, I go farm this camp at the end of the minute. And then at 6:15, I pull this one again. You're both, basically, your goal is to clear both small camps or at least one every minute past 5 minutes.
Okay, okay.
And if you're not doing that, it's because there's some, like, crazy shit going on in lane, you know? Where it just isn't possible, which happens. But, you know, I just look at this and I think, it's possible here, so I want to see it.
I think I'm somewhat doing it. I don't know if I did it with Shadow Fiend, but with melee I do it, but I think it's only like 7-8 minutes. Yeah, it's probably too late. I already have like triads and...
Yeah, we talked about raw efficiency, you said last time in our coaching session, and the biggest raw efficiency I've had to teach just across the board is yeah, neutral items at 5 minutes, super OP. You know, we just see that you farm 0 neutral camps, and SF's an insanely good neutral camp farmer.
Yeah.
You know, what we would think is, like, you're a neutral camp farmer, pseudo laner that rotates in and out, and you're like, oh, a quap skanking? I'm going to go lane now and kill this guy. You know what I mean? But the majority of the time, you're kind of weaving in and out of lane. That's like how I want you to think about it, as like the way
Yeah.
we are
But
looking for. Yeah.
for example, here, would you hit the tower or just immediately go back and do the pull and the efficiency patching?
So the question I ask myself every time is, how much damage do I think I'll roughly get on the tower? And how comfortable do I feel hitting the tower? So you're against Sniper, who has like pretty potent slows, and you're against a Pudge. So I probably wouldn't hit the tower here because I'm a ranged guy. And I'm also insanely efficient at farming camps, like my hero. So for me, I would probably hit camps here. I would probably go, I would actually kill this sentry. Is this blocking the camp? Yeah, I would actually kill this sentry and farm this camp at the same time. That's what I'd be doing here. Pretty much I would only push the tower if my team is pushing with me as a ranged hero. That's a good rule of thumb. Pretty much ever hitting the building by yourself is a no-no.
Okay.
Very rarely is that correct. So, like, for now, you can operate under that assumption and then maybe look for exceptions when you're doing it. So, yeah, this is definitely, this is just a ranged hero mistake. Yeah, like, you walk up, you clear this wave, you go hit camps. The dream on ranged heroes is to just shove out the wave, have zero hero-to-hero interaction, and just farm. That's the goal on every ranged hero. That's the absolute fucking dream. Like, and that's what ranged heroes do really well. They clear the wave from range, they attack and harass from range. So you'll get punished a lot more for positioning mistakes, and you'll get punished a lot more for putting yourself in aggressive positioning. Like, the percentage of time that a ranged hero will die doing this is much higher than a melee hero. So your calibration for risk to reward ratio of hitting towers is just going to be way off if you predominantly play melee heroes. Right?
I noticed.
Yeah. So it's completely understandable. We just need to draw attention to it's like a significant difference. And I think for now, like I don't know if I talked about this last time, but I always like to operate in short-term extreme assumptions in the other direction, knowing that you start there and then kind of scale it back to an equilibrium somewhere. Okay? So the assumption that I want you to make is I don't hit this tower unless both of these camps are cleared and my teammates are with me.
Yeah, okay.
And operate under that assumption for some time. There will be exceptions, but you'll notice those when you're like, maybe I could have hit that tower. And that's a lot less punishing than, I shouldn't have hit that tower because you died. You know what I mean?
Yeah.
So yeah, I want you to scale it from the other direction, basically. And just shoot yourself too far the other direction and then scale it back. Is that does that make sense?
Yeah, that sounds good.
Cool.
There'll probably be a few games never hitting that tower.
Yeah, and that's fine. Honestly, that's fine. Just rewire the muscle memory a bit, and that's a perfectly fine way. It's fine to make temporary solutions or adjustments that will help long-term solutions.
Yeah.
I mean, even this is like really highly risky. I do see a lot of heroes bottom, and they're just going to let you take it, but I probably would not have done that myself. Unless I saw a literal 4-on-4 in side lanes continuously happening, I wouldn't be doing that.
But would you still go mid, but then not push the tower and just rotate to the sides?
Yeah, I would have, the TP mid was fine. What I would not have done is hit the tower like you did.
Go to the tower, okay.
Yeah, I would have pushed the wave and gone and jungled. Okay. I would say 95% of the time your default is to push the wave and think what jungle is efficient to go to. Okay. Is it like this one? Is it this one? If they took this tower and you're afraid they might be over here, then, you would clear the wave and go this way. If they're being more invasive this way, maybe you'd clear it and go this way. That's kind of like where the map awareness comes in, but it's a little bit nuanced from there. We just need to get you doing that first.
Okay.
Yeah, so the TP mid was fine. Everything else was fine. Just the sticking around and hitting the building is what I specifically meant. So, here's how I look at these positions here. So you just saw a big fight happen mid, right? Mm-hmm. So you cleared a wave and a fight just ended mid. I want you to put your mindset in the opponent's head real quick, right? So they just cleared this. They just took a fight. They just won it. The enemy carry's showing down here. There's a realistic chance that they like just TP here and try to kill you, right?
Yeah.
So how do we avoid that happening while not being inefficient? We farm around this area waiting for more information. Like, does Rubik still show mid? Does PA still show mid? Does Sniper show mid? Like, do they show somewhere else, basically? So what that means is I clear this wave, and then instead of walking towards the next wave, because they very well could be ganking us, I would just clear this camp, I would clear this camp, and then by the time that's happened, I will see something. Like, okay. I will either be like, oh, I feel safe to continue going, or I don't. So, like, what happens here is we're at the camps right now, we're at the camps, and then we see Pudge top, and we see Sniper, and we're like, oh, I've already cleared this camp, I'm going to walk over here, snipe this wave real quick, and then I'm going to go back over here. Does that make sense?
Yeah, Map? Makes sense.
Okay. So the goal is that whenever we clear waves, the reason to go to the next wave is because we have ample information to know that we can. That's based, like, what I want you to think is, I'm not going to the next wave unless I have information that tells me I can. So this is just a map awareness thing that happens over time. It's kind of the same idea as hitting towers in the sense that if you make this mistake on melee heroes, it's going to punish you a lot less. Because the percentage of times that you'll die on a creep wave getting ganked is like way higher on a ranged hero than it is on a melee hero.
Yeah.
And a lot of times we learn by being punished, right? So if you've gotten away with this playing melee heroes most of the time, it makes sense that you've never had to think about this before. And I know you didn't die here, but I want to also, you know, I hope it's at least kind of clear of why you could have died here. And how my play would be statistically much safer across, you know, hundreds of games or whatever.
No, yeah, I definitely agree.
Cool.
And especially melee heroes, I was just to like Juggernaut, Lifestealer, I'll just spin or infest the creep, and the times I would die are just much lower. And
yeah,
this is why probably having this movement.
Yeah, makes sense. With the context you gave, it makes a lot of sense. Yeah, we see heroes top. We're going to push it out. We're all good here. So,
yeah, here I can tip it to them. Maybe, but yeah, I don't see opportunity.
The thing is, it's funny. I wouldn't even hit this building. I would have just... I would walk over to these camps, and then I would see if it's good to go to this fight or not. Like, I'd be considering it. Based on the fight that's happening, honestly, I would sit here farming, and then the second I see Mars right here, I would probably TP if the fight's still going.
Yeah, because we would outnumber.
Yeah, because they don't have the team fighter that, like, locks me down, you know? So rather than, like, hitting this tower to force a reaction, which I don't hate because there's a fight going on, but I also would like to draw your attention to if PA had TP'd bottom and Mars arenaed you, you probably died. Honestly. And that's just because you're a ranged hero. Like, a ranged hero by yourself. You know, that's just kind of the nature of ranged heroes. So, a ranged hero, we love to show up to team fights that have already started, that our team is either even or has momentum. Because then we just come in and fucking chunk people. And we're not getting focused. We're just hitting from the back. And so a lot of times the way ranged heroes connect to fights at this stage of the game is they've already broken out and it looks even or slightly to our advantage, so we go.
Yeah.
That's how I look at it. Go ahead.
In retrospective, I don't regret not going to this fight because I think team won comfortably, but I do regret going to this tower.
yeah, exactly. And that's why I said just like hit the camp and then you're getting the decision to go to the fight or not. And that's how I want you to consider ranged heroes is while a fight's going on, make sure you're not in danger and that you have the option to go to the fight as well. And then you're reading the map and the fight based on that. Mm-hmm. And the only time you'll hit that building is if you literally see a 4-on-5 top. Do you know what I mean? Okay. Like you see fucking everybody. Like, that's how I look at it. And then in the future, you can be a little bit more aggressive, but I can tell you for now, in the short term, this will help you. Where, you know, maybe there'll be, like, one-on-one matchups that you will win, and maybe you only have to see 4 heroes instead of 5. It is a bit nuanced, more nuanced than just never push, but, you know, it's definitely, if I were to watch a bunch of your games, this would be, this would get you in, this would bite you in the butt over the course of a lot of games.
Yeah.
I think the biggest thing biting you in the butt right now is they have 2,600 gold, and I don't see, like, a item. Oh, I see. You're going BKB. So what's really interesting to me about this is that when you push this wave like this, I want you to think that you're effectively, as a ranged hero, because you're such a good target for the enemy to kill, I want you to think of yourself as like a whack-a-mole, right? Where the opponent is the person... Do you know what whack-a-mole is?
Yeah.
Okay, so the enemy team is the person playing whack-a-mole, and each lane is effectively a hole that the whack-a-mole can pop out of, right? And if you just are... If you, what you're doing here is effectively the whack-a-mole popping up, and then, like, staying in the lane. Like, if you stay mid, and I want you to think that by TPing here, I want you to know that your limit for whack-a-mole is now like the right hole and the middle hole. Like, you could never make it to the left hole now because you TP'd bottom. You see what I mean? Like, you're making it easier for them to whack the mole when you TP like this. So what I'm trying to show you is that in this moment where you push the wave and you see this, just walk your way and farm here. Basically, I'm trying to show you the value of what happens when you TP, basically.
Yeah, I think I'm doing this a lot, actually. Yeah.
Yeah, and it seems small and like it makes sense you TP'd, meaning like there's a huge fucking creep wave there. But we want, like, I basically want you to know that TPing to towers defensively like this, if you were to do it 100 times when you could theoretically walk and miss 2 or 3 creeps, it will cost you a lot more over time to TP. Just potential missed opportunities to TP to your team, potential times where the enemy ganks you and you have no retreat path out. Those type of things will happen a lot.
Because I think what I'm thinking is yeah, if I don't TP there, some teammate is gonna TP there, and then I'm gonna lose the wave. And then I'm thinking, yeah, okay, if I push this fast, maybe I can gate. But I've had a lot of times where I did this and I didn't get to the fight in time.
That makes sense. I wouldn't want you to worry about competing with your teammates for farm because there is farm right here.
Yeah.
So, like, you have an option. Like, yeah, maybe this isn't as good as you getting 8 creeps. But I also want you to realize if one of your teammates takes the 8 creeps and you farm these 3 camps, your team's technically getting more out of the map than they would otherwise because nobody else is going to farm these 3 camps.
Yeah, that makes sense.
So, I only worry about that kind of stuff if I've identified no other farm on the map. Like, there's literally no other option for me. And that's why I partially like walking here, because I have options. I could stop to farm these camps. I could just keep going to the wave. It depends on what I see on the map. It depends on what my teammates do. That kind of thing.
Yeah, okay.
And when we can leave ourselves with options, that's always better, if possible.
Yeah, that makes sense.
This isn't like an egregious error, but I you know, it's another one where I'm like, if you did this 100 times, it would backfire.
Yeah, for example, now they're fighting top. But even if I TP'd, yeah, I wouldn't get there in time. In this case, I think.
In this particular case, I don't think it backfired at all. The major emphasis is if you do that 100 times, there's going to be 15 times that a fight breaks out and you can't make it.
Yeah.
That's
sure.
In this one, I don't think it mattered.
Yeah.
Yeah, I mean, the tower is really low this time, so you clear it. You're considering going to the fight.
Yeah, but
okay.
when I arrive, it's...
Yeah, it's over already. I can understand why you went BKB because you're against Mars. Is BKB like a normal item for you second, or is this like a reactionary purchase to the heroes or state of the game? What's like the thought on the BKB here?
Yeah, it's mostly, I'd say mostly Mars, and yeah, in case Fudge gets me, or sniper magic damage as well. Yeah, yeah. For example, here I think it was good, but I don't usually go for it straight away. Maybe I do the this one first.
The
The I don't
Dragonlance?
know. Yeah, the Dragonlance,
Yeah, I
and
was just
then
thinking that I probably would have gone Dragonlance first here, and I was just curious if this
yeah,
is like a normal build for you, this order, or if you just preferred BKB based on the hero lineup, which I can understand
yeah.
it.
I switched. Yeah.
Okay. So on top of this, so I just got done working Dream League, and it was really validating for me because I went into the tournament with the last 4 days of the time I was playing, and my thought was this: holy shit, Silver Edge is a broken item. That was like my thought playing pubs. And
Hmm.
I'm like, I feel like not enough people are buying Silver Edge. Literally by the end of the tournament, like 80% of carries had a Silver Edge in their inventory. So your quick meta update, that's like a spoiler for I'm gonna talk about in my video I'm recording tomorrow, is these items are fine, now buy a Silver Edge next. So
It
fucking
would have
good.
been really nice this game actually.
It's so
Looking at the
fucking good.
zeros.
Yeah, don't buy MKB against PA, buy Silver Edge. And just fucking
Ah,
chunker. Silver Edge is so OP because um they made it give, I don't know if you know this, but they made it give a 200 movement speed cap on the person that you hit. So
hmm.
even through haste runes, even through Weaver, Sakuchi, Centaur ult, Darkseer, Surge, they literally get set to 200 move speed. And so unless they have a mobility spell, they're basically hexed. That's basically what it is. So
Oh, that's really nice.
it's super OP on long ranged heroes. Like, you're literally just a 700 range hero that now has a massive slow for 5 seconds. Like,
Ok-
it's stupid as fuck. It's really broken. So,
Okay.
also the reason why it's so good in general, like, Silver Edge has always been a conceptually broken item. They just nerfed the numbers on it for so long that it's been out of the meta for literally like 2 years. But you just get to choose when you jump them or not. It's not an escape item, it's a positioning item that makes sure you don't get initiated onto, but you can be near your teammates. You know what I mean? But they just don't see you. Like,
Yeah,
that's
and it also helps playing the map, which is really nice. In
yes.
this game, sometimes I'm not sure. Okay, should I build for waves? Should I build for fights? And yeah, I feel like Silver Edge could help me. But would you always consider it like after the core items, like or
Um
just some specific situations like this game?
uh I would say in 80 to 90% of your games on a ranged hero, you will have a Silver Edge in your inventory.
Oh, okay,
That's how
nice.
broken I think the item is. Like, I think it's that broken. So,
All right.
like in this particular game, I would go it right now. In like, the options are: do you go Daedalus first or like a Butterfly first? There's options, but
Hmm.
in this particular game, because they have a lot of burst damage and they also have 2 heroes with really important passives to break, the Mars and the PA. Like, I just no doubt go Silver Edge here. And
Yeah.
I also have really strong initiators on my team, and it's also really important I don't get initiated onto. So that's why Silver Edge is so good here. Like, it's just,
Okay.
and it's already a broken item. Like, when in doubt, just buy one. Like, I'm
Okay.
just telling, like, don't rush it, of course, but like, I mean, I literally saw Pure go like Maelstrom, Falcon Blade, Silver Edge on Muerta. It's like just literally third item, like literally 2 small items and a Silver Edge. So it just
Nice.
depends. It is a really
Uh,
broken item though, and that's just like,
Actually, didn't notice much, and in my games, almost no one does it.
yeah, it
I
hasn't
don't
really
think
caught
I've
on
seen
yet.
a. Yeah, I don't think I've seen a Silver Edge for the past like 20 games or something. Yeah,
It's very good. It's very, very good.
nice. I
Uh,
also wanted to ask you,
yeah,
like regarding the pick logic. Like usually now I'm just defaulting to ranged hero if my support is melee.
yeah.
But would you go for a ranged hero like SF for example, just because it's good and it's meta now?
I think
Like as
SF's
a
the
first.
one hero that can just be picked. Right now, I think if you're not like a great SF player and you pick him first, you'll probably be below a 50% win rate.
Okay.
But like I'd say third, fourth, he's like super safe to pick if he's not highly contested enough in your games. I don't know like what the meta plays out like in your games. In my games, it became like first pick, first ban by the time I left, which was like 3 weeks ago. It was like getting picked every game.
I feel like
Yeah.
50% of games I can pick it second.
Okay. Yeah, I mean
Second
then
round.
for me, it's all about like kind of imagining what the stock of the hero is to you in regards to how good you are at it and how intent you are at learning it. You know, I
Okay.
think SF's the most broken carry in the game right now. But if you're not super comfortable on it, then maybe first picking it will be a really miserable experience for you because you'll lose a bunch of games. But maybe it's also short term, not the funnest, but long term, you get better. So it's kind of just, there are trade offs here, and it's kind of up to you on what you think the best balance is for you there. But
Yeah.
I think SF is the most first pickable carry of the patch right now, if you're asking me strength wise. Yep.
And for other ranged heroes, would you still pick those, consider some like or would you go for range if your support is
I mean, generally right now, I
melee?
think the best heroes are like SF, Wind Ranger, like Weaver has seemed to go up in value. I just haven't adjusted my list to what I've seen in the tournaments. There's a lot of SFs, Wind Rangers, Weavers. I think in pubs you can still do stuff like Drow. It wasn't really seen in the matches. I really prefer Luna still. I think she's strong in pubs. But you know, go ahead.
Because I'm thinking my games do drag a lot, like 1 hour, and in 1 hour, like if everyone is 6 slotted, I feel like these heroes are not as strong as like a Juggernaut or so.
Yeah,
Maybe it's
I
just
would be
because I'm
curious
used
what
to.
happens when you refine your play. I'd be curious how that ends up impacting things because
Yeah,
I don't
maybe we win
necessarily think that
faster.
has to happen. I think ranged heroes on average will end the game much smoother as well.
Yeah. Okay. Okay.
They usually do like a lot of roach damage and like tower damage and stuff like this, most of them. So,
Okay.
yeah, that's for me. I guess I would hate for you to give up on it because your games are generally going long. Because I think your games will go long as you're making fundamental mistakes. You know,
Mhm.
like I think your death, for instance, at minute 9 in the lane, it is a really big deal on ranged heroes to do that. Like it's not like, hey, you lost the fucking game because of that, but every death like that extends the game by 3 to 4 minutes, like no question.
Okay.
You can kind of think about it that way, that every unnecessary death you have is probably 3 to 4 minutes on the game clock that adds to the game. So 4 or 5 of those, and suddenly you're looking at like a 55-minute average game instead of 40. You know, obviously those are not exact numbers, but that's been my anecdotal experience with deaths like those.
Yeah.
I did want to say something. Oh, I wanted to get insight on this TP to mid right now.
Yeah. I just see the wave and I don't see any heroes, so I'm a bit scared of staying top, but
Hmm.
probably higher chance of them even being around mid. So
Yeah, so the
I guess
interesting... Oh,
it's
God.
mostly the wave. Mostly the wave. Mostly the wave.
Okay, gotcha. So the biggest change about the big map is that it's insanely hard to gank people because the map is huge. So the number one way to gank people is for them to show on lanes. So whatever your calibration for showing on waves in the past was, I want you to think that it's probably 3 to 4 times more punishing now to show on waves than it was in the past.
Yeah,
Like,
that makes sense.
it's really punishing. So, like, if the last time you showed was 30 seconds ago, it's really hard to gank you. Because you could just be, like, fucking anywhere. But, like, when you show on this wave, they know you're either going here or here right after, and they can just assume that and 50-50 kill you every time, like, if they want to punish you. Like, they just know that. You know, if you showed up here and then you did, like, this camp and this camp, it's been 20 seconds, and you walk like this, it's like they might find you there. But it's like, it's less likely than when we show on waves. And I just want to emphasize to you that we don't want to be the guy getting ganked as ranged heroes. We don't want to be the guy that they see and they jump first. We want that to be someone else. So what that means is either somebody is in front of us on the map, like somebody is farming here while we're farming here, or somebody else is walking in before us in team fights, right? Like somebody's kind of leading us into an area, like you're smoked and Legion's in front of you. And that's what we want, like, the map positioning to look like. Because you're kind of willingly throwing yourself in there, and that's what a melee hero would kind of do instinctually. Because you're like, yeah, go on me. I'm a melee hero. Fuck it. But, like, that's not what we want as ranged heroes, right?
Yeah.
So I want you, like, you can kind of have this question for yourself of how often do I put myself as, like, the point of contact or, like, the person that they would go on first based on who's on the map right now. Like, I want you to look at the map right now and be like, yeah, if they were ganking somebody right now, it's probably me. Like, based on what I see. You know what I mean?
Yeah.
So, that's what I would want you to think. You know, in this case, it ends up being Quap, and he's making the same error you are. But you both kind of 50-50'd it.
Yeah.
But this was fine. Okay, and you end up retreating with your BKB. Okay, that worked out. Augers. Okay. Okay. So I'm gonna type some notes for you for the sake of these are like the key things we've talked about so far. Only hit towers if camps nearby are dead and teammates are there. These are like our overly extreme assumptions that are pretty close to reality, but like eventually you'll find exceptions. Okay. And then the next one is showing on waves is really high on the danger meter. So do this as little as you have to. So what that means is you are not allowed to TP if you have camps near you that are not farmed. So
Okay, even if there's a wave.
Yep.
And even if
farm this,
I'm
farm
melee.
this, farm this, farm this. And if 3 heroes show here, you can go to the wave.
Okay.
Going to waves, let's rewrite this here. Going to waves is based on how many enemy heroes you see. The more you see, the more you are willing to TP or walk to a wave. Does that make sense? Because you're doing it right now based on farm efficiency, and I want you to flip that to, I see a bunch of heroes, I can go to waves. Otherwise,
okay.
Or there's literally no camps near me. Right? That's how I want you to think about it. Is that, yeah, that makes sense?
Yeah.
Cool.
Yeah, another question since
Yeah.
we're paused here. So
Yeah.
let's say now they would push bottom and I see a wave pushing mid. I don't have my ulti. Should I just go with them or go
No,
mid?
I would never
Or
even
farm the
consider
camps?
pushing here. I'm just farming.
Okay.
No, you don't 4-man towers. You just farm creeps all the game. What happens is you farm creeps all game, you connect to fights appropriately, you win a fight near an objective, you walk at the objective, you kill it real quick, and then you go back to farming. I want you to think, if this will take longer than 20, 30 seconds to do it, you probably don't want to do it. That's like the general rule of thumb, I would say. So, like, if you literally killed them right here, and the map looked like it is, sure, kill the tier tower. Kill the tier 2 tower.
Yeah, but we're too far for.
Yeah, it's just too far. There's too many camps. Like, you're missing too many camps. I've noticed that you generally walk past camps too much, and you TP away from camps too much. So you're prioritizing a lot of lane shoving, which is important. Don't get me wrong. Like, it's not like you're wrong for thinking it's pushing waves is important. But honestly, the new map has become Minesweeper. Like, just fucking walk through camps and clear them as fast as possible. And that's why heroes like SF are so good, because they just murder creeps. Like, it's just like... You know?
Yeah.
So like when you were here at like and you TP'd to here, that's why I wanted you to just walk like this, because there's camps between you and that. You're more likely to TP from here to here purely based on there not being camps here.
Yeah.
Like we don't want to TP through camps, if that makes sense.
Yeah, I think that's main issue is I'm spending TPs without needing to spend TPs, and
Yeah.
then I'm also losing efficiency on the process.
Yeah, that would add up a
Because if
lot with these little things. Yep.
yeah, because if I'm playing a hero that's good in taking camps, but I'm mostly walking to waves, then yeah, it doesn't make much sense. I can see.
Yeah, there were a lot of times, like even simply like you farm this wave and then you go to the next wave. I want you to start thinking, how do I go from wave to camp to camp to wave? Wave, camp to camp to wave. Very rarely are you going to go wave to wave.
Okay.
Always try to weave camps in the middle, and the only reason you wouldn't is because there's literally no camps. Like, they've already been farmed.
Nice.
So maybe, like, I would say triple your neutral camp hitting. I would say. From the 5-minute mark onwards. I would say you're wanting to probably triple your neutral camp hitting. And that would probably land at a good approximate balance for you. And that's why Silver Edge is so nice, because when you're walking from wave to camp to wave and you're off map, if they happen to find you, it's like that much harder to kill you. Because they have to have detection. Like, you have already Silver Edged when you're walking, you know? You're not like Silver Edging once you see them. You're just using it to safely walk somewhere. And it's like they have to have dusted you or have a gem or planted a sentry ahead of time. It's actually really hard to find people with Silver Edge on. It's just hard. Like, I even watched it in the pro tournaments that it was hard to find people. Like, it's not like it's because people are bad and don't have detection. It's just the map is fucking huge, and now you're invis. It's also why Clinks is, like, theoretically broken and had to get nerfed a bunch. You know?
Yeah.
You're honestly just becoming a Clinks. You just walk around really fast, invisible, and then you just kill people.
Mm-hmm.
So we have about 15 minutes left or so. So I want to know if you want me to finish out this game, jump into the other replay. You know, based on what you have learned and haven't learned so far, like, what do you think is the best use of our, you know, the end of the rest of the session?
I guess we can finish because we lost, and I think
Sure.
it was. Yeah, I'm definitely screwed up. I think the last fight, maybe the last 2 fights, but yeah, I want to understand if there was something else.
So your approach here is I'm a Slark and I'm hunting behind them. Oh, like that's what you look like you're doing right now, and I think you might just be doing it to get to the secret shop. But
Yeah.
you're like looping behind the opponent effectively right now, and that's like not a ranged hero thing. The only time you would do this as a ranged hero is with Silver Edge, and you're like patiently waiting for the fight to break out. But this exact thing is what we want to avoid: walking through a ward and then getting caught by enemies, and now we're the point of contact, and we have to expend our like BKB instantly and defend ourselves, and then, you know. So I think there's a lot of little things. You're coming back, you're like reacclimating, it makes sense, but like, you know, you're prioritizing TPing to towers to get waves. You're walking out of position to get items. Like, couriers are for items. Camps are for you, not waves. You know, like, you know, if we can just flip these switches a little bit, I think it'll have really significant impact on, like, because they're not hard changes, I think. Like, you can quickly make these adjustments because I think your fundamentals are pretty sound. But then you're over prioritizing waves a bit and putting yourself out of position for kind of what I would consider trivial things that like make sense, but it's not right, you know? Yeah, and then in this case, this is exactly what we want. Fight breaks out, we loop in after it's already broken out. Boom, you know, this is exactly what a good ranged hero fight looks like. So I would love you to, like, in your future games, know that that's the script for fighting, and look for that script and save TPs as often as you can in the game, knowing that TPing to fights in the first 10 to 15 minutes of farming, so like, you know, 10 minutes to 25, that's usually what's going to happen. And then later on, it's you following behind your teammates when they're smoked, and that's like a formula for a good ranged hero fight. What you just saw there. And now we just want to consciously replicate it. That's all we want to do.
Yeah. I noticed in this good fight, they all died, and we all survived.
Yeah.
And in the bad fight, everyone died.
It's very polarizing on ranged heroes like this because you do a fucking shit ton of damage, but you're also kind of easy to kill if they focus you. So, like, this TP is fine as long as you communicate it to your team, like, I'm getting out, be careful. Like, that type of TP is fine. And so what I would want you to do here, if you make this type of TP, is connect back to your team as safely as possible. So I want you to tell me that the path you're about to take is as humanly safe as possible to get back to your team.
I think so.
Nah, it's like this. Big difference walking in front of them than behind them. Big difference. Huge difference. Okay? So I just want you to think these are the little things that will dictate when you randomly die as a ranged hero.
Okay.
I know you walked into the Roche pit there, so like my thought is, okay, at all times I want to cautiously position myself like this. Okay, I feel safe to enter now. I go in. That's how I want you to think. It seems small, but I promise you, the X percentage of the time you get killed. Okay, so you're gonna maybe narrowly escape. Nice escape. Honestly, in this game, I don't want to sugarcoat it. Your items are just not appropriate for the game. We definitely needed a Silver Edge over an MKB in the current meta. And then I would say Satanic before Butterfly. And then I'd say Butterfly after that, probably. Would be good.
Okay.
I mean, even Butterfly before
sense.
Satanic is generally fine. I think the Silver Edge is a big problem. I don't think I've seen somebody buy an MKB in the last... on a ranged hero. I don't think it's really a thing. It's only on, like, passives heroes, like Ursa and stuff, that would ever buy an MKB, I think. Even then, it feels, like, pretty bad. So, we just want to think if we made ourselves point of contact with what happened here. A ranged hero, TP's right here. Or back here. Right, so we see this, and now we're point of contact, and then we have to pop BKB at the very start, which feels really bad. Yeah. Honestly, if we can just get this whole positioning thing, you're just TPing and reacting like melee heroes, and that's fine. We just need to draw attention to, you know, a melee hero throws themselves in the middle of a fight there. A ranged hero, no. You know, we don't want to do that.
Yeah.
And it'll take a little bit to rewire your, you know, default, and that's fine.
Yeah, because my win rate with ranged heroes compared with melee right now is... Yeah, all these issues I think are adding up.
Yeah, they add up a lot. I mean, it's the thing is, it's like it's not like any one of these individual decisions cost you the game, but if you remove 2 of them out of 7, you'll win 5% more games. You know, so maybe your win rate goes from 43 to 48 or something, and then you know you remove 4 of them out of 7, and you're still allowed to make mistakes, of course. It's just that we want you to make sure you know what it means to make a mistake. So how often are you the point of contact? How often are you walking around in front of your team on the map or in fights? How often are you TPing to towers and putting yourself at risk when you could just play off the map farming camps? How often, you know, that's the kind of stuff we want you to be thinking about. How often are you hitting towers by yourself? And, you know, we look at 5 deaths. I would argue, I can't say for sure, but I'd say probably 4 of them were avoidable the way that they happened. You know?
Yeah.
And that just adds up a lot. And I think the rest of your stuff is like, you know, like you said, you were once 4K. Like, there's clearly good signs of a lot of little things going right here, but these, like, big decisions that they're little decisions in the sense of it's just a use of a TP and stuff, but it's a big decision in terms of, like, your placement of your hero on the map and in team fights is going to hurt you a lot over the course of these games on range, I would say.
Because previous map, let's say I TP to Ancients, then I have a lot of camps and a lot of time before, so I would always have TP. And in this map, it's, I need to get it down a bit.
Yeah.
Here I should not be point of contact either. I don't know why I was there.
I mean, at this point, it's just awkward. You're down by 20k or 15k before the death against PA. But yeah, I'd say this fight's like very hard to analyze in like any meaningful way. Yeah. I guess, and to wrap it up, like last thoughts, meaning like we have a few minutes. Are there any overarching questions that didn't get answered? Are there any specific moments in the other replay that you'd like to check out real quick? Like what would you like to do?
Yeah, I don't know if you have time to in the other replay, if you
Sure.
can skip to minute 20 something.
Okay. Yeah, is there like a team fight or what are we looking at?
Yeah, because there's moments I know that I didn't know it. So this is a game where I could do whatever I wanted, basically. It's like I mean, it's a tight game. It's very there's a comeback, then a comeback again and everything, but I feel like I had enough space and there's moments where I just should I go there or go there? And then you'll see my hero just stand still for a bit until I decide. Because maybe we can find it in minutes, around mids, maybe a bit more. Wait, Leicester?
You're Jug.
Yeah, Jug. I think it was this game.
Is this the game you had in mind?
Yeah, I think so. Nah, maybe put more time forward.
Say it again.
Go for it. I think it's too soon. Yeah, okay.
Yeah, same
This
idea
kind
here,
of
right?
thing. Yeah.
I want this path to be like this. Same thing, but it's not like you don't have your single defensive item yet, You're just kind of walking in 400 gold off your defensive item in an area you can't see. Same idea. Just, it's such a huge difference if I watch you make this path than it is to make this path. Like, basically what this path says is if all of the alive heroes cast their spells on me, I will live. That's what this statement is saying. And that might be true in some games. And you might even think that, and it's slightly wrong, But I the main thing for me is I want you to know by pathing like this, you are effectively saying, if every hero on the enemy team cast a spell on me, I would live.
Mm-hmm.
And as long as you think that, and you're like, I think that's fine, and then you go in and die, but you learn from it, it's fine. Right? Like, it's fine to die and learn like that. But go ahead.
Yeah, but it's nice to see what you were telling me in Roshan Pit playing out now.
yeah, it's the same thing, right? It's a little thing. Yeah. It is nice to see it. This is a good proof of that concept. Yeah.
Yeah. But this time I actually died.
Yeah, it's much easier to prove it when you die. For sure. Yeah, otherwise it's all theoretical, and I'm kind of in a trust me bro situation here.
Okay.
So we're gonna... Okay.
Yeah, so here, for example, I'm not sure this makes much sense because all my team is together.
Yeah, so in this case, I want you to think that the last time we saw opponents is... so I try to teach this flow of the map thing. I've seen an opponent here, I've seen an opponent here, and I've seen an opponent here. Those are the last times I saw opponents. So the last thing I'm going to do is enter this area by myself.
Yeah.
Because that's where they control and we control down here. So my path right now would be this. Like, I'm just with my team. And maybe if I had it, I would TP here to defend the tower and then walk this way. Maybe. You know what I mean? But I'm not sure if you're gonna die here, but I don't like removing yourself from your team to go into the part of the map that the opponent controls, because anything you find here is not gonna be good. You're by yourself, you don't have your teammates with you. Worst case scenario, best case scenario, you walk into somebody, maybe you Omni Slash a support. Worst case scenario, you walk into 2 or 3 heroes and die. And that's like really bad if that happens, Yeah. Because even though you're super farmed and you're ahead, you're still not actually point of contact yet, because Manta died on Courier, and they have a decent amount of single target damage and stuns that go through spin and stuff. So like this is good though. What you're doing here is good. You're gonna catch the wave, maybe connect to your team here. Hopefully, let's see. Interesting. Okay. So I want you to think in the map right now that how we hedge the game is we farm waves and then go towards our team if we're prepared to fight. If we're not prepared to fight, we run away from our team. So like this into this is like, this is like an aggressive farm pattern that is away from your team, which we don't like. So I want you to see that what I go for is I try to connect to my team whenever I see it with my farm. So I see my team, I see the map, and I think, what farming can connect me to my team? If there's no farm, then it's kind of awkward. But like a lot of times there are. So like with the map right now, I'm just like giving you the solution with a specific example. I'm going to have cleared the wave you just cleared, and then I'm going here. And then here. And then if a fight breaks out, great. If it doesn't, I'm walking back here to clear the wave at 2340.
Okay.
That's like how this is going. So all of this is just hedging towards if there's a fight, I'm there. If there's not, I'm farming. Like it covers both. And you're also not the point of contact because you have information on the map that tells you you won't be point of contact. But like with this, it's like, okay, so we see 3 heroes mid. Like this move doesn't really do anything except for maybe give Spearbreaker the opportunity to charge you, and you have to run away. Like, there's no real potential benefit there. And now, by TPing away from your team like this, you're saying, my team is 4v5 for the next however long. Yeah. And we want this to be as little as possible. What would have been amazing is, do this, no fight, take this, farm backwards, go through the gate, if the enemy team is still showing here, and clear this. Like, this TP is like, if your team is playing down here, this TP is basically clear the wave and do this.
Yeah, towards them.
Back towards your team, right? If your team was down here, like over here, then sure, TP here and go this way.
But even if I'm not ready to fight, but I have ult.
Dota is right now is all about being able to fight as often as possible.
Yeah.
I think you might be being a bit too binary with your ability to fight. We don't need you to be like at your all-time power spike, most powerful hero in the game. It's just you are up by 8k with Omni Slash. Like, you can definitely show up and do something.
Yeah.
And Healing Ward itself is like a really useful spell, you know, just in general for your team. If you're connecting to the fight late. And that's why this is more your mentality from like minute 10 to 25-ish. I kind of said the same thing on SF. Hold your TPs, be able to be at fights. Yeah. Main emphasis. Distinguish between what it means to want to fight and to be able to fight. Okay?
Okay.
And don't remove yourself from the map when you are able to fight. Because that's a waste of your potential. That's just like missed opportunities, potentially putting yourself at risk. It's making like negative things a lot more likely to happen, and you're less able to capitalize on good things. That's kind of what's happening here, if that makes sense.
Mm-hmm.
Cool.
Yeah, I agree.
Is there any other like major decision in this 20-minute mark you wanted to see?
No, it was mostly this, like looking at things that are recurrent between games.
Yeah.
I think main issue you found.
Yeah. So in this case, rather than like you're strong, you have Manta, your team's up by 7k. I'm thinking, how do we connect to him? So you're farming great. Keep going. Just do this. Just connect. Because why? Yeah. It's 25 minutes. No fight happens, you farm here. You know?
Yeah.
We're always looking to farm. So what you did here is effectively start your 25-minute farming here instead of here. It's
Yeah.
the same farm, is what I'm trying to show you. You're not actually missing farm by doing this. That's what I want to emphasize. We're still trying to say hit as many creeps as possible. Now we just want to kind of fixate on it is how do we connect to our team while doing so? And sometimes it's impossible, but you know, based on what we're watching now, there are going to be times where you missed it. And it's kind of like a puzzle with a bunch of moving pieces. A lot of it's kind of instinct and intuition that you have to like train over time. So I'm not trying to tell you it should be easy and expect it to be perfect, but I hope you can kind of see what I'm going for and you can just slowly train this over time. Does that make sense?
Yeah.
Sweet. So that's it for me. Do you have any final thoughts or questions?
No, good. Thank you so much. I
Yeah.
think main points you were able to find.
Sweet, man. Awesome. I'll see you later.
Yeah, see you later, man. Thanks.
Bye.